Good morning, everyone. Good morning. September 11th, 2022. I have chills all over already just because this is going to be a very special broadcast. I'm on site here at Flight 93 Memorial, just outside of Shanksville, Pennsylvania. I want to invite you to pause and breathe. Take a moment. Check in with yourself this morning. Oftentimes we don't check in with ourselves because we're so busy doing, we're so busy taking care of things. And the present moment can be elusive because we're constantly thinking about what we have to do. And I want to create a beautiful space here today for you as we remember, but as we also remember that right now is the most important gift. And my intention for this is that you walk away living more fully now. Living more fully now. It's 10:02. In about a minute, we're going to pause for a moment of silence. Flight 93 went down at 10:03 a.m. It's 10:02 a.m. So I'm going to invite you to pause and breathe. Just allow the moment. Step out of the thinking mind just for a moment. Let's give honor to everybody on Flight 93 right now. So pause and breathe. Just about a minute to remember everyone that perished on this day 21 years ago. Life was changed forever. And I want us to honor that today. And I want you to honor your life. I want you to honor your life. We have a lot of things to cover today. Most of this is unplanned, but I do want to share with you, and I'm going to get into this over my shoulder here. This is the Tower of Voices. Move out of the way. Tower of Voices. It's a 93-foot tall, really, it's a musical instrument. It's got 40 different musical pieces in it. And when the wind hits about 12 to 15 miles an hour, it's supposed to resonate in different musical notes to represent the voices of those who are lost. 40 musical notes, tones, 93 foot tall, representing Flight 93. So this will be behind me as we move forward today. I want to grab your shares. I want to see what arises for you in the present moment as we move forward here. And yes, we just pause and breathe. And we're going to move into the show. We have a special guest who's going to reflect back in a way. And I want this to be a reflection back so that we can learn to live more fully today while we remember all those who we lost. So I just want to welcome all of you today. I'm honored to hold this space for you today as we dive into today's episode. So what I want to do right now, I want to bring on our guest because she is on location as well. And because she's standing out there and we got potential rain, we got weather. I want to bring her on right now. Her name's Marilyn Morales, and Marilyn was within close proximity of the World Trade Centers as they went down. And this is going to be a very, very just help me hold space for Marilyn, please. Just send prayers. I just want you to offer up a prayer, a moment of silence, whatever feels right for you. And we're going to bring on Marilyn. She's going to share this, what happened to her, and what, like, having presence in times of crisis. Can we be present in times of crisis? And so we're going to talk about that. So, and before we do that, I just want to honor everybody who's listening to this across all platforms that we have out there. Some of this is actually goes out to a podcast. So if you're on the podcast, I just want you to take these moments of silence where there seems to be nothing happening. Perhaps that's an invitation just to pause and breathe and just step out of the mind, grab the deep breath. And one of the quotes, I'll set this up before I bring Marilyn on. I had a download this morning, and the download was, presence is this, presence is the lapse when we pause. And this pause could be in a moment, this pause could maybe be a week, it could be a month, where we pause and we allow life and we connect to the deeper part of ourselves and we respond from there, and not the noise in the mind, not the mind that just wants to react to everything. And we have a story here today about how someone embraced that. So as we get ready for Marilyn, I want you to check in with yourself, and I want you to embrace where you are right now. I want you to simply just acknowledge where you are. Honor yourself. Honor how far you've come. Honor this moment that we're going to share this morning. Honor it, embrace it, and even embrace the mess. Embrace the mess, because it's in embracing the mess that we can transcend the mess. And we have a story about a woman who literally and figuratively embraced the mess, literally and figuratively embraced the mess. And basically, this woman lost her son, Greg Rodriguez, on one of the flights, and she met the mother of the mother of the son who plotted for that to happen, and she embraced him. She embraced her. She hugged her. She gave her compassion when everything, the mind wants to be revengeful and hateful, but we can't return hate with hate. We must transcend. And the way to transcend is to get ultra present and connect to the deepest part of ourselves that transcends all of it. It's divine energy. It's universal source. It's God. And so I want you to embrace this morning. I'm going to grab as many of your shares as I can. I want you to type in what's coming up for you. This is an opportunity to be present. I want you to honor what arises up in you, because that's telling you something, and even if it's painful. So just type in the word honor, hashtag honor. I want you to honor yourself. I want you to honor where you are as we honor this day. Marilyn, are you ready to join us? Marilyn, welcome.
Good morning, Austin.
I am honored to have you join us today. I'm honored that you took the time to venture out on this day that has such depth for you that I can't quite wrap my head around. But I would love for you to just talk about your journey and maybe share where you're located now, and then your journey through the lens of being present that day.
Will do. I will tell you, Austin, that this experience right now is very surreal for me. I am on location in Pennsauken, New Jersey, literally my backyard at the 9/11 memorial. That's here, as you can see behind me. We shall never forget. And as I walked here this morning and I looked at that and I read it, it brought me right back to that day. I was a public health nurse working less than 2 miles away from the Trade Center in a school, in an elementary school. So it was the beginning of the school year. And as everybody knows, everybody was excited that day. You're starting school. It was an election day. So everybody was outside because it was a gorgeous, gorgeous day with a beautiful blue sky. And I always admired the blue in that sky that day and how clear it was.
Mm.
And I'm sure that so many people did as well, never knowing that in a few moments our lives were going to change forever. At 8:47 in the morning, flight 11 hits the North Tower of the Trade Center. The impact was so great that I felt it from inside the school where I was at. I had no idea what that noise was. The school shook. I thought there was something going on right outside, had no idea of the trauma that was unfolding outside until parents and children began to come inside crying, saying that they had just witnessed a horrible accident. Because at that time, that's exactly what we thought. It was just an accident. The poor people that were in that tower. Just a few minutes later, 9:02, flight 175 now hits the South Tower. So now we know this is not an accident. There's something more going on here. I'm talking to everyone outside. We're realizing there's more happening outside, but I had yet to go outside because I'm dealing with what's going on inside the school. And I will tell you that that day, I did not feel fear. I was determined to
Wow.
figure out what was happening. I had children, elementary school children, in my care, and their parents, and the teachers that were looking at me for guidance on what are we going to do. As it continued, at one point, I received a phone call in the medical room where I was at, letting me know that people were jumping. I didn't understand what that meant. I had no idea. So a coworker and I decided to close up the medical room and go outside and see what exactly was happening outside. So as we went outside, looked up in the sky, we could see the fire. We could see exactly what we were being told on the phone. And I'm sorry, but I can't repeat it because my mind could not comprehend what I was seeing. I couldn't understand. But all I knew is that I had to get back inside and I had to deal with what I was dealing right then, right now. So we went back inside. At that point, now Washington, D.C., 9:41, another plane hits. So now we know we're under attack. We're under attack. Are we even going to make it out alive? My thoughts went to my family. I had left that morning without saying goodbye to my mother, to my son. I said, what if I never see them again? What if this is it? And I had to get a hold of myself and take care of the children that were in my charge. And I was determined to make it home. I wanted to see them again. So being present in the moment meant realizing in that moment what was truly important to me,
Yeah.
my family, the people that I love, the people that had no idea what was happening to me. I needed to get back to them.
Yeah. Marilyn, I thank you for sharing this. This is it's like sacred. It's a sacred ground. When you and I just want to emphasize that as you're talking about, like you can't fully wrap your head around it, but what what comes through is just to. I remember everything how people were so connected with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted to help each other. It's like, there was just this powerful force that united us, and that's why it's important to remember so we can drive deeper into life today in this present moment that we find ourselves. And when we remember these horrific events, we can make that extra phone call and say, I love you. Look someone in the eye a little bit longer. Have a little bit more grace. One of the things we say in our community is time, space, and grace, because we talk about embracing, we talk about being in the present moment, but that could take years for some people. It could take decades. And that's why the show is so valuable for me, because it's a constant invitation that we hypnotize ourselves, whether we know it or not. We hypnotize ourselves with our thinking. And when something like this happens, it's everything you knew, every thought just gets literally turned upside down overnight. And it pulls you into the present moment if you allow it to, so we can learn and we can love deeper and grow more. And you, Marilyn, had an experience that not many people had in the world, to be there and to experience that and to be in that present moment, and how you showed up. It's like, it's hard, it's hard to wrap your head around it. Is there any,
I'd like
yeah, go
I'd
ahead.
like to say that, this day we tend to focus on the things that we lost that day, the people that we lost, the freedoms that we feel that we lost. But what I want people to remember is to be thankful, grateful, and have a grateful heart for the things that we did have, the things that we do have. Let's not forget that.
So let's do this right now. I want you to type in what you do have. Let's just get everybody to type in what you appreciate today, in this moment. Like, could be in this moment. What do you appreciate? I want to hear what you have to say. And I have some bonus footage for you. I was able to get up close to the memorial. I have some footage I'm going to share with you. I have another memorial video I did last year. I'll put that link in the chat after. So for those of you that are wherever you're listening, just make sure you look me up. Power Pure Presence, Austin J. Haynes. You can see some of the bonus footage, and I expect to have more footage for you later today as we just honor this day. So what do you appreciate today? Marilyn, what do you appreciate today?
I appreciate everyone that's in my life today. People like you, Austin, Dana, the families, my work family, everyone who's in my life. I appreciate every single person.
Yeah, that's what I was reflecting this morning on the relationships that I have and the relationships that I can continue to grow, to be more authentic, to pause and connect with the deeper part of myself and do my best to live from that place more often, despite what, society or someone else says you're supposed to be or have to be or must be, that you can be authentic to yourself. And that's good enough. Like, that's you. That's your essence. DJ saying, I'm so grateful for my online family. Thank you for sharing the love with me. Mandy saying, I appreciate each soul who has reached out to me these past few days. Amen to that. Mandy, we're sending you lots of love. So grateful. I'm in the communities that I'm part of, from Kerry. And then we had some people here that were just expressing to you, which I'm going to go back to. Mandy says, holding you in my heart.
Thank you, Mandy.
Kerry's expressing some love here to you. Dr. George Grant, prayer, support, and love to you, Marilyn. Jessica's with you here. So there's lots of love here today. And just what do you appreciate this morning on this day? What does it make you think about? I remember where I was. I remember how life changed after that. Families, people come together. People helped out. People did some coming in here today. There was a guy running with a flag. I can only imagine how far he ran to get here, but he ran through here with a flag as a memorial. So the memorial here is very real. There's a ceremony going on right now, and I will be sharing. What time we got? Okay, 10:21. So Marilyn, is there anything else you want to share about this? Because before we transition you out of the rain, and you want to maybe share something and then give
Yeah,
us a little bit of a visual as you walk around?
yeah. I want to be able to share. Last night, when I came here yesterday, this was completely empty. Last night, someone or many people came to make sure that they laid a flag for every person lost. Beautiful.
So there's a flag there for every person lost. Can you
Yeah,
show us the flags,
I'm
Marilyn?
going to be doing that right now. Beautiful memorial. And this had to have happened late last night.
Wow. So your final shares, Marilyn.
Let's never forget, but always remember what's important in your life. Be present. Tomorrow's not promised. All we have is today. Make the most out of today.
That's a beautiful message. Marilyn, you're free to hang on here if you'd like. I'm going to share some bonus footage. But before I do, I want to invite you to pause and breathe. Let's just pause. We got the hourglass here. This is the new hourglass for Power of Pure Presence. Just a reminder that life is unfolding now, right? We are reflecting back today, but we want to reflect back in a way that adds more texture and life to this moment as it unfolds. Cherishing this time with Marilyn, this special time, using technology in a positive way to put a good message out there. And we can live fully in the moment. We can be grateful. We can love more. We can connect more. We can remember from a deeper place. We can be who we are from a deeper place. We can't go back and change it. We can as much as we want to. We can't go back and change it. And we can't jump. We can't jump ahead. We can't as much as we want to get to that future moment. There's no future moment that can make now better. That's the message of this, is that my brain was like, I'm going to get to a future moment that's going to bring fulfillment today. And think of how backwards that is. It can only build fulfillment today. We can expand this moment. We can build fulfillment from where we are. We can take a look at all the things that don't seem right in our lives and realize that they're divinely appointed for us to transmute it, to make the best of it, to turn it into gold, to turn lead into gold, just like the alchemist. So I'm going to share some bonus footage with you, and I want to invite you. Before I do that, let's just get a moment and just pause. I'm going to share this backdrop here with you. And Marilyn, you're free to stay on, whatever you want to do. You just tell me.
I'll stay on.
Okay. So I'm going to lift this up. We'll lift this up. This is the Tower of Voices. It's a 93-foot high musical instrument, 93 representing Flight 93. It has 40 musical tones, long and short. They're like chimes. And when the wind hits 12 to 15 miles an hour, they make a noise. When I got here, I heard it, and it's surreal, chills all over. I'm not sure if it's going to do it today, but I will share the link after. You can share it. I just want to invite you right now to pause and breathe. Take some time. Let's see here. Pause and breathe. If you're listening on the podcast or the playback, just take this time to pause and breathe and just do whatever feels right for you. And the reason why we pause and breathe is to remind ourselves. The reason why we do this throughout the show is to remind ourselves throughout life, at any given time, you can pause and breathe. And every time you do it, just think you're connecting with the deepest, truest part of yourself. So that next action that follows is from a deeper, authentic place. So I want to honor, I'm feeling so much love for all of you right now. This is coming through for me, and I'm just so humbled by you all. And right now, I'm going to share a special presentation for you. And please continue to share whatever's coming up for you. And I will do my best to get all your shares in. So sad, yet so beautiful. And I'll tell you this, Marilyn, as I was pulling up here, I had this weird feeling. There was part of me that was like, yeah, this is beautiful. And there's another part of me that's like, I wish it wasn't here. Like, in other words, I wish it never happened. I wish we didn't have to do this. But then again, I had like to remind myself, you got to embrace what is. You got to embrace what is. So, all right, everyone, I'm going to share this special broadcast with a little bonus footage here with you right now. And this is just raw video. It's a little tribute to this location, and I want you to see it right now. So it's this place is surreal, and as I was here, it reminded me, like, if you saw, and I'll share this, I have a high definition of that video you just saw. I'll share it in the chat for you so you can watch it again. But they have the flight path. The black sidewalk represents the flight path. And it's just reminded me, like, that life is like content and then no content. Like, that flight path is laden with this black memorial sidewalk. And then if you look out in the distance, there's a boulder where it was the final resting spot. So on that day, there was content and it was gone. It's just a reminder of how fragile life is. And that when we remember that we drive deeper into life, and when we drive deeper into life, we drive deeper into the present moment. So what's happening right now? Yeah, and there's so many stories. We could spend hours, days, months talking about it. So I'm not a historian. I'm not an expert on it. I merely wanted to provide space today for you so we can remember. And Marilyn, just want to, since you're on here, is there anything you want to share about what you saw? Or
On that day,
well, just no, with the memorial here.
walking with the memorial. I mean, people have been stopping here all day since I've been here this morning, just honoring the lives, I'm sure honoring their own lives as well. We can't think of them without thinking of our own lives and how our lives have changed and being
Yeah.
grateful and thankful.
Yeah. And what was there anything in that video that I shared with you that touched you?
The path,
The path.
Mm-hmm.
The path.
the path. You know, the path that those planes should have taken versus the path that was taken. And the path that we now can move forward and take.
There's a, and that, as Dana was pointing out, they were 20 minutes away from their target, 20 minutes. And you know, it's interesting, that path, if you think about it, as I'm reflecting now, this is just coming up in the moment, that was 43 souls. That was their path. That was the path that the physical ended, you know, that path, and it's forever marked. So it's incredible. So what I want to do right now at the time, I just want to honor our sponsor. We have a sponsor who I'm so humbled and grateful that she reached out to me and she wanted to sponsor the show. And we just want to give her a shout out. That's Duchess DJ Love, and she lives love.
Mm-hmm.
She lives travel. She uses travel to bring people into the present moment. She says gallivanting like a royal because she teaches her friends, and not just her friends, anybody who reaches out to her, how to travel and feel like royalty when you travel.
Mm-hmm.
And she uses that also to bring presence into people's lives. You know, think of how present you are when you travel. So I just want to give her a shout out on this special day, September 11th, 2022, 21 years after. And like I said, I have another video I did on the 20th. I'll share that in the chat as well. We're going to grab your shares. So Marilyn, I'm going to let you get back to your car. I'm so glad you were here today. I just want you to, any final words? I know you said some already, but I just want to honor the space and, you know, just anything you want to say.
Just thank you for allowing me to be able to honor this day in a very different manner than I have every year before this one. This place was literally in my backyard all these years, and I never knew that it was here. So today marks the beginning of how I will now honor this day. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Marilyn. Thank you for pouring into our lives,
Yes.
your experience of that day, so we can get perspective. And I trust that everybody that's going to listen to this today is going to step into the next moment feeling a little bit more life in this life, a little bit more life in this life, that you can let life in even when it's tough, and that we can transcend transcend the moments. So, Marilyn, thank you so much. God bless you. And we will see
Thank you,
you
both.
at Flashpoint 4 next Sunday, actually, next Sunday for our summit. So I'll talk a little
That's
bit
right.
about that. Get to the end of the show. God bless.
Looking forward to it. Bye bye. God
Okay.
bless.
Oh, and I just got a pain in this current moment. Oh, I got to stand up. Everyone, I got to stand up. I'm going to invite you to pause and breathe again. And I want you to reflect. So far, what has this meant for you right now? I am going to go back and get your shares. So we're going to pause and breathe. And then I'm going to come back and get your shares. When we pause and breathe, be intentional. You could just observe what's happening here. Maybe you just want to observe what's happening here, the noises in your own environment. Maybe you want to get in touch with, just check in with yourself, what's rising up in you right now as we condition ourselves to pause and breathe and let life in, to live life more fully right now.
Okay.
So let me grab your shares. Let's just grab your shares. I'm just going to start. And thank you for being here today, each and every one of you. I value your presence here. And I want something to rise up for you. You know, otherwise, this is just some kind of entertainment. We don't want it to be that. We want it to be deeper. We want it to be, we want it to touch you. We want you to walk away better than when you came. And if I have time, I'm going to share the other 9/11 tribute I did. I'm going to see if I can pull that up. So let me grab some shares. Mandy, my heart is pounding. I'm grateful. I still have lifeblood flowing through me. Many no longer have this gift. That is true. The gift of life in every moment, presence. Yeah. Thank you, Dana, for holding the umbrellas. Give Dana some love. She's holding the umbrella here. I would not be able to do it without her today because this has just been transcendent. I got here yesterday and I was here and I was just oh God, just surreal, just surreal. This thing just touched me so deeply. Thank you, Ivy, for being here. So incredibly beautiful. The power to still travel, especially flying. We can still fly. Matter of fact, they're re-releasing the Concorde. That's a whole nother episode. Reflect. Maybe you need to reflect. Let life in. Let life in. You're wired to handle even the toughest situations. Let it touch your soul. We heard about Phyllis Rodriguez. She lost her son, Greg Rodriguez, in Flight 11. And she met the mother of the son who plotted against us, who helped the terrorists. She met this woman and she embraced her and she expressed compassion. That's what it means to transcend. That's what it means to not return hate with hate. That's what it means to be connected to the deeper part of yourself and to avoid the noise of the mind that tells you so many things on a daily basis that are not true. Beautiful treasure to find, Marilyn. Yes, Marilyn's a gift. She's got a presence about her, doesn't she? And we're excited. We're doing a summit next Sunday, September 18th, 1 to 3. That's the Flashpoint Summit. So next Sunday is going to be busy. We got the show in the morning, and then we have the summit. So stay tuned for that. We're pouring out a lot of content like this to reach you. Juanita is on from South Africa today, sending some love to Duchess DJ. And this quote just moves my heart. A common field one day, a field of honor forever. What, and I put this in a quote, what is seemingly insignificant becomes significant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it means to add meaning to our lives. What we think is insignificant is significant.
Mm-hmm.
The pauses, the moments of recognition, the moments that seem insignificant become significant in ways we can't comprehend right now.
Mm-hmm.
Stay true to your path, the path. This path was their path.
Mm-hmm.
There's a path up the road. About 2 miles, there's a path that people took where they perished. And everything that led in their life led them to that point.
And then the quote from the wife of
the wife of Todd Beamer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pull that quote up.
Yeah, that's significant.
What's that quote?
It speaks about, there's just no time for hate.
Wait, yeah, let me get this.
Yeah, there's no time for hate. This moment teaches us.
Yeah. I'll find that quote for you all. We'll get it. Life. All right. Well, I'll get that quote for you. It's about there's no time to hate. She lost her husband. We must avoid returning hate for hate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, Carrie. I'm glad you're here today. I'm just grabbing your shares here. Embrace what is. This is from Ivy. Embrace what is, even though we wish it didn't happen. Yes, that's a power. That's what I was feeling yesterday as I was getting here. Cheryl saying we remember. And Mandy's referencing the folks that put their lives on the line to prevent. Yeah, no man has greater love than he surrendered his soul on behalf of another. God bless you, Flight 93. I love you. Deep gratitude. Let's see what time we got. So it's 10:46. I'm going to see if I can pull up this other video that I have with the 9/11 memorial, and I do have it. So let me pull that up. Let me see. Okay. So I wasn't planning on doing this, but it feels right. This was 1 year ago. I was right around September 11th. I was at the towers, and I'm going to add that right now so we can see that. Let's see. Here it is. Okay.
September 11th, 2001, the World Trade Center was attacked. It became known as Ground Zero. After years of hard work and rebuilding, the entire site has been transformed into one of beauty and of remembrance. At its heart is the National 9/11 Memorial. Millions of visitors from all around the world come to this site to pay their respects each year.
Just in case you forgot, it's going to be the 20th anniversary of 9/11 this September. It's been 20 years. The New York City Fire Department members who made the supreme sacrifice in the performance of duty at the World Trade Center on September 11th "20 years ago this September, our lives changed forever. May we never forget." And I think the other message, at least for me, is that we never forget and that we remember how fragile life is, and that may death and loss drive us more into life.
No, I don't think some people may have forgotten, but I think we get further away from it. We lose that contrast. So that's why it's important to remember loss to drive us more into life. And it's also symbolic that no matter what seems to be lost, there's always a counter. There's a resurrection. There's a rebirth. The New World Trade Center. Behind me, this way, is the memorial. It doesn't replace what is lost, but it's a symbol that, there's new life, there's growth, there's new beginning, there's new chapters, it's new, and it's about embracing all of it, as hard as it and painful as it can be, especially with something like this on such a grand scale.
So we have about 10 minutes left in the show, and I want to honor each and every person here, and I just want to give you the genesis, the basis of this show. I make a point to do this every episode, and it's from the quote, "We shall not cease from exploration, and in all of our exploring, we shall arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." And to me, this is about fully embracing life, going after our dreams, our goals. But as we do, to come back to this present moment, to connect with the deepest part of ourselves and who we are, and to begin to understand it at a greater depth. That it's not same old, that it's not this is all there is, that every moment is a brand new moment to create something new. We can transcend the old things of the past. We can transcend the noise in the mind. We can transcend if we just condition ourselves to pause and breathe, allow the present moment, create the vacuum of space. Because in my experience, this journey for me, it's in the vacuum, the seemingly insignificant, that becomes significant, where I can connect to my deepest part, my purpose, and then I can show up for you to do things like this, because without that, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would be even getting here today. Like every moment there's something, and I could get upset, right, and say it shouldn't be that way. I could say this shouldn't be that way, or that shouldn't be this way. But the moment I do that is the moment I make it worse. And I have another thing to share with you here. If I can dig it out, didn't think I'd have time, but I will. And that's because it's right in point with what I'm saying. It's from this book, Eckhart Tolle, Oneness with All Life. And it says this, and this, I don't expect you to process this in the moment. It's a couple sentences, but you can reflect on it. You can listen to it and maybe not even pass judgment on it. Just allow it first, right? It says this: the ego says, I shouldn't have to suffer. And that makes you suffer so much more. It is a distortion of the truth, which is always paradoxical. The truth is that you need to say yes to suffering before you can transcend it. And that is the paradox. How can you tell me to accept the suffering? When you accept the suffering, you're not accepting it as a permanent. You're accepting what is in this moment. If there's pain in this moment, you're accepting it. And then when you accept it, you begin to transcend it, even if you don't feel it in the moment. You begin the process of transcendence. And there's no easy path, and everybody's journey is different. It's easy to read out of a book, off of a page, but it's much more different to fully embody it. And the only way I know to embody it is to pause and breathe and get out of the fight or flight or fright reactions, even in the midst of what the things that could be happening. It talks about in the Bible, it's the peace that passeth all understanding. You see, all the truths are there. We just explain them in different ways. It's the peace that passeth all understanding. And that peace comes from a moment of presence when the world is telling you to hate, to react, to retaliate, to do something that's not in alignment with you. But when you pause and breathe and you connect to what's real, you activate the peace that passeth all understanding. You step forward from a place of peaceful power, poised, planned, productive, and passionately on purpose. And you begin to transcend, and you create an environment for other people to transcend. Because when they touch your space, they're never the same, even if it's a small way. When you show up, it's a beautiful gift. And then it's the beautiful surrender. Like this morning, this was not the original. This was the backup plan. The original plan was to be at the monument, but guess what? Too much going on, lots of security, and I just trusted my gut. I had to be in the moment and trust that this is going to work out. And God bless, amen. We did it. We're at 10:55, 5 minutes left. I'm shivering, I'm shaking, I got chills, and we are going to wrap this up in a beautiful way. And this is a quote from Lisa Beamer.
It's a very beautiful.
This one here.
It's very beautiful.
Slowly, I begin to understand that the plans God has for us don't just include good, but the whole array of human events. I remember my mom saying that many people look for miracles, things that in their human minds fix a difficult situation. Many miracles, however, are not a change to the normal course of human events. They're found in God's ability and desire to sustain and nurture people through even the worst situations. Somewhere along the way, I stopped demanding that God fix the problems in my life, and I started to be thankful for the presence, for His presence as I endured them. That's from Lisa Beamer, her husband Todd Beamer. Let's roll. Thank you, Dana, for sharing. I give Dana some love here for being here, supporting, and just thank you for the umbrella. The weather's actually clearing up right now, so you can take the umbrella down. So we can take the umbrella down for the last 5 minutes, and there we go. Just as a symbol of life, no matter what's happening, no moment is permanent. It's always in a state of transcendent. But if we fight, we struggle, we suffer. Allow the moment to unfold, and we have 3 minutes left, so I'm going to step out of the way. Just take this in, everyone. Take this in, and I'll share whatever I didn't share. I'll share all that in the chat later. God bless you. I love you all very much. Just keep the journey going. Keep it going. Okay, so here we go. Beautiful here. So in these closing moments, I just want to thank you again for being here for Power Pure Presence, episode number 11. This will go down as a very powerful event for me, and I trust it is for you. I'm going to stick around and try to get some bonus footage for you. So follow the Facebook page, Austin J. Haynes, Haines. I'll do my best to get that for you. And if you want to connect with us more, we have a community. We have a live event coming up called Flashpoint. 4.0 in Philadelphia on October 7th, 8th, and 9th. Just look me up for that. And I want to thank our sponsor, Gallivanting Like a Royal, Duchess DJ Love. And we are counting down. I'm counting down. I got a new countdown clock to count down the end of the show here. Let's see where we are. We got 10 seconds left. So thank you so much, everyone. God bless. Go make the next moment even better. Oops.